So this video is gonna just be an overview on how to upload course material and how um, one option for setting up your course. And so this is one of my old courses. It's been archived. But what I do, again, I teach geometry. So what I do is I break my course up into chapters. So um, upward bound information. I had a guest speaker come in. So this is just so students can get that information. Isn't really anything for my course, just for the students to use one day. Anyway, so this was chapter 8. So I added a folder. So if you add a folder, you can name it whatever you want. If you want to put a little description on what's in that folder, you can do that. You can set these up ahead of time and just say you don't want it published yet, which means that you can see it, you can work in it, but students won't be able to see it. You can have it published on a certain date, and or you can have it only published during a certain date range. I usually just stick to published or unpublished. All right, so and then within your folders, and you can also edit, unpublish, you can assign this folder to just a few people. So say, you're differentiating your class, you have, 5 students that are going to work in this folder. You can just assign those 5 students so the rest of the class can't see what's in that folder. And you can do that for multiple different groups. So maybe you have different reading groups where you only want these 5 to see this folder, these 5 to see a different folder. Student completion, we'll talk about in the advanced course. Copied a course. So if you don't have your courses linked, you can, whatever you do in this folder, you can add it to a different course. So for me, my 5th hour geometry, if I build everything in that, I can copy it to my 6th and 7th, so I don't have to repeat it. And then you can also save to resources, which we'll talk about in Schoology Advanced, or you can delete it. Okay, so once you have your folder, you can use this little drop down, or you can actually click on your folder and then it only will show what's in your folder. Material options, add an assignment. So if you want students to be able to turn something back into you and have a Dropbox, then you need to set up an assignment. So name, you can write a description. There's so many options. You can add a link in here. You can change the alignment. You can put in a table. You can insert content. There's lots of options here to explore. You can add stuff from Google Drive. So due dates, if you put in a due date, this is where you would add this and then it would show up in the student's calendar. You can add a category. So you have to create your category. So mine, daily work, homework, and then grading period. You'll have the option of, when you first start off, quarter 1, quarter 2, make sure you select the correct grading period. And then let's see. And then if you go down, you will be able to save this, but I'm not going to save it. All right. If you want to add a file or a link, so you can just get a file off your computer. You can get a link from a website. You can add that. And then it's going to look like these little chains here. And if students click on it, they get right to the link you want. And then if you just add a file, it is going to look like this. This is just notes. You can add a video, whatever you want for students to access course material.